Hey, what if I told you that heartbreak just isn't something to survive, but it's something that could actually help you evolve? Today, we're diving into one of the most universal and, at the same time, gut-wrenching experiences, something that I've been quite accustomed to in the past couple of years, getting dumped. Let's get started. Welcome to the Catalyst Podcast. I'm your host, Jason. Catch us on all your favorite platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. You can also listen to our episodes on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and our home on Podbean. We'd love to hear from you folks. If you're interested in being a guest, contributor, or just have something to say, reach out to us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. Join the Catalyst community today and be part of something truly transformative. Welcome to episode 120. That's right, episode 120. Dumped. 7 ways to grieve and grow. Okay, so whether it was a slow fade that left you confused, a blindsided breakup text that hit you like a truck, or the dreaded, air quotes, we need to talk, that you knew something was coming, but you hoped it wasn't. When a relationship ends, it can feel like the end of you. Like someone pulled the rug from underneath your identity, your plans, your heart. But here's the truth. It's not the end. It's a turning point. Not just the beginning of being single again, but the beginning of something deeper. A chance to meet yourself again. A chance to grieve. But also a chance to grow. So, let's talk about 7 ways to grieve and grow after a breakup. Not just getting over it, but getting through it with wisdom, humor, and heart. Let's get started. All right, the first one. You've got to feel it fully. You've got to feel it fully. I had this friend who, they tried manifesting their way out of heartbreak. They wrote affirmations like, I'm whole and healed, while at the same time secretly refreshing their ex's Instagram every 20 minutes. They even DM'd the new partner from a burner account. Spoiler alert, folks. It didn't help. No, it did not help. And I can certainly relate. Grief, folks, it isn't a bug in your healing system. It's the actual software. You have to feel it to heal it. So cry, scream into a pillow, watch sad rom-coms, eat ice cream straight from a tub. Emotional honesty is the first step towards emotional freedom. You don't have to be okay right now, but what you do have to be is real. Psychologists call this emotional processing. Studies show suppressing emotions can prolong distress and even impact physical health. Letting yourself feel reduces cortisol and promotes resilience. So here's a tip. Schedule grief time. Yeah, schedule grief time. Give yourself 20, 30 minutes a daily to feel everything without judgment. It creates boundaries so pain doesn't spill into every moment. Schedule a small little amount of time for yourself to go through the process. Let me know how it turns out for you. Make sure to reach out to us at catalystmotivationpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. All right, number 2, name the loss. Name it. A friend of mine told me, I just didn't lose the person. I lost our Sunday coffee runs, our shared playlist, our future I thought we had. I lost a version of me who believed in that future. Can you relate to that? I know I can. Breakups are layered. You're not just grieving a person. You're grieving routines, rituals, dreams, and sometimes even your sense of self. Naming what you lost helps you understand what you're actually healing from. Narrative therapy suggests writing down what you've lost helps externalize pain and clarify identity shifts. So here's a tip. Make a loss inventory. List everything, big and small, that feels gone. Then highlight what you can recreate or reinvent for yourself. So name it. Give it a name. All right. Number 3, get curious about pain. Come again? Yes, get curious about pain. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? And I've done that a lot. I'm sure you have too. Instead of doing that, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Because when we really look at it, life is lessons, and pain is a professor. It shows you patterns, it shows you blind spots and unmet needs. According to the Journal of Positive Psychology, 71% of people report personal growth after a breakup. That's not just surviving, that's evolving. So, an actionable tip here for you is some journaling prompts, right? Here's 3 prompts. Get yourself a pen, piece of paper, write these down. All right? First one is, what did this relationship teach me about my needs? That's the first one. What did this relationship teach me about my needs? Second one is, where did I abandon myself? I hear this and I think back of so many relationships where I abandoned who I was to make sure the other person was happy. Third question, what do I want to do differently next time? This is the key. Am I going to continue down the same path I've always been and get the same results I always have? Or what am I going to do to change that? And be brutally honest with yourself. You know, there's been a time where I thought I was brutally honest with myself, but I really wasn't. And now doing so, it really helps me to clarify, who I am, what I'm about, and how I want to move my life forward. So this was a challenge for me to kind of get into a book and write stuff. You don't have to write it. You know what? Get a voice recorder and just talk about it if that makes you feel more comfortable. But take the steps. All right? That was number 3. Let's move on to number 4. They say that this is the best medicine, and it's hard to argue. Laugh. Laugh even through the tears. Right? You know you're healing. You know you're going to be all right when you can laugh about how your ex thought, pineapple pizza was a personality trait, or who you voted for, or, not going and doing walks, whatever it is. Here's the thing. Humor doesn't erase the pain, but it gives it breathing room. It reminds you that you're still you. You're still you. Funny, lovable, weird, dorky you. And that's okay. Laughter triggers dopamine and endorphins and reduces stress, improves moods. And who doesn't like to be around a happy person? So the next time you're feeling that, pop in a comedy special or text your friend about your funniest breakup meme. Do something to boost your spirits. We have to be in charge of our lives. We can't always rely on other people. We need to rely on ourselves. Pull something up on TikTok, whatever. Find something that brings you joy and makes you laugh. All right, what do we got? That was 4. This is 5 coming up. Okay. Connect with yourself. Connect with yourself. What does that mean? Well, when we're in a relationship, they can blur the edges. You start saying we more than I, right? Because you're part of a team, or at least you hope you are. So when that happens, now's the time to ask, what do I like? What do I want? And I can talk to you about a situation that's personal to me. I got into a relationship that I shouldn't have got into. And when I started a new one, this old one carried over and made the start of this new one a little bit challenging. But then as time went on, I found myself in the same situation as the last relationship, where I couldn't talk about certain things. I couldn't talk about certain things to their friends. There were certain ways that I need to look or act. And sometimes when you're in love, you'll just bend and do it. But then you lose yourself. So what do you want? What do you like? Find yourself. Fall in love with yourself. Take yourself on a solo date. Revisit hobbies you shelved. Rearrange your space. Create a playlist that feels like you now. I can be absolutely open and honest here. Relationship I just recently had was a person who I would have liked to have thought was going to be someone who's going to be very important in my life. Turns out that wasn't the case. I lost myself in that relationship. It was all focused on the other person. And I didn't see myself in it as much. I would be initiating the conversations. I would be initiating going and being with that person. And then I was told that there were certain things I couldn't say or think or do. And when you're in a relationship like that, it's not a relationship. So it ended. And what came out of it was me focusing on connecting back with myself. Who am I? Who am I really? I got back into working out, not for revenge, but because I wanted to be healthy. And I also got inspired to write a book. Yep, I've written a book. Wow. It's coming out November 28th. It's called The Ways of Compromise. And it talks about how compromise has become a dirty word in today's world. You either agree with me or you are the enemy. And we weren't like that. But it's been more prevalent within the past 10 years or so than ever before, especially the last 3, 4. So we're going to talk about that in this book. And I would love for you to go grab a copy. Coming out November 28th. It's going to be on digital and paperback. It's called The Ways of Compromise, and you can find it anywhere you can find a book. And let's get back into it. All right, so let's move on to number 6. And that is setting boundaries with nostalgia. Okay. So, and actually, I got a message from a listener, which I'm so excited about. And the listener told me they keep rereading old texts from their ex like it's a sacred scroll. It was like emotional archaeology. She kept digging up for meaning and not finding any. Because basically, folks, nostalgia is a liar. It only romanticizes about the past and erases the pain. You're watching a highlight reel of all the great things and forgetting about the bloopers. So, here's what we want to do. Archive those chats, folks. Hide the photos, mute the socials, and give your brain a break from the emotional reruns. Healing needs space. So, do a digital detox from your ex. If you get rid of it, it reduces rumination and speeds emotional recovery. So give it a try. All right, we got one more to go. Create a ritual of release. Number 7 is create a ritual of release. Write a letter to your ex, saying everything. The anger, the gratitude, the goodbye. Then burn it, shred it, bury it, hide it under a tree. If you're doing it like I did in a text message, I sent the text message to myself. I text message did it. I sent the text to myself to get that emotion out. Because it's not about revenge or reconciliation. It's about letting it go. It's about reclaiming your voice, your closure, your power. Closure rituals help the brain shift from attachment to autonomy, reducing those thoughts that just pop up. So, write it out, voice it out, however you need to do, and let it go. Now that we've looked at the 7 ways to grieve and grow being dumped, I want to invite you into a short guided reflection. Now, if you can, find somewhere quiet and take a moment to pause. If you're at work, if you can find a place, if you're in your car, your home, wherever it is, find a place where you can just have some quiet and take a moment to pause. All right. If you're driving, let's not do it now. Multitasking, come back to it later because we want to have your full attention to it. All right. So step one, we're going to breathe into the present. Breathe into the present. Take a deep breath through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Exhale through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. And let yourself be here. Step number 2. Name what you lost. Name what you lost. In your mind, on a paper, in your phone. Finish this sentence. I didn't just lose the relationship. I lost. And then just let the words come. Be honest. Be raw. Because there's no judgment here. I actually did this weekend. I walked the beach at night and I talked about this. And it was probably the most open I've ever been with myself in a long, long time. Step number 3, honor what you've gained. Now finish this sentence. Because of this breakup, I've learned, right? Maybe it's about boundaries. Maybe it's about self-worth. Maybe it's just that you're stronger than you thought. Step 4, reconnect with yourself. Ask yourself, what part of me have I been neglecting? It could be your creativity, your joy, your health, your independence. And what's one small way that you can nurture that part of you this week? Step 5 is release with intention. Visualize yourself holding a letter in your hand. It contains everything you've been carrying. The anger, the love, the sadness, the confusion, the joy. Now imagine placing that letter in a fire or letting it drift down the river or into the ocean. Watch it go. Feel the space that leaves, because we need that space to leave in order to have space to grow and become the person we were meant to be. Step number 6, affirm your becoming. Repeat quietly to yourself. I am healing. I am growing. I am becoming more me. Then take one last breath. And when you're ready, gently return to your day with a little bit more clarity, a little bit more peace, and a lot more compassion for yourself. Okay, folks. Episode's a little longer than we usually have, but I think it was important for us to talk about these pieces. Listen, breakups break you open, and they hurt. We've all experienced them. And it's in that opening that there's space. There's space for healing, for rediscovery, for growth. So if you've been dumped, know this. You're not broken. You're not broken. You're becoming. And you're becoming something good. Love yourself enough to give yourself the ability to let go and grow. Well, that's it for today's, folks. For today's, oh my God, first day with a new mouth. That's it for today. So if this episode has resonated with you, please, please, please share it with someone who might need it. I'd love you to like and subscribe to our podcast for more motivational content. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and check out the book, The Ways of Compromise, my first book coming out November 28th on digital and paperback. Thank you for joining us for episode 120. We look forward to seeing you next time for episode 121. Go be great.